Hey guys, so the question in this video is how can I experience life more fully? First of all, we have to identify what is life. If you look at it properly, life is just a set of situations and experiences that you go through. Some are bad and some are good. Here in this universe, everything has a positive and a negative. And the key is to learn to embrace both the good and the bad experiences. So I want you to remember back when you were a child, before you were conditioned by your teacher that you had to sit in a classroom and be quiet, before your parents taught you that you had to pass an exam to be happy and have a life, before money was your god, before they conditioned you that you have to survive, before they tell you have to be secure and get a job at 9 to 5. I want you to remember when you're a child. From my experience, when I was in school, when I was still young, all I wanted to do was have fun. I just wanted to run around, have friends, play games. I just wanted to enjoy life. But somewhere along the lines, I forgot about that. When the conditioning started settling in, that you had to pass your exams, that you had to be quiet, that you have to put your hand up to speak. So the biggest obstacle that I see that prevents people from living their life fully is fear. Fear is the biggest obstacle because fear keeps you in a box. I grew up in South London. It was a very dangerous area where I lived. When I was around 12, 13 years old, there was a lot of gangs, there was a lot of crime and violence. So whenever me and my friends would go out, there was a high probability that we will get stopped by a gang, or we will get robbed, or we will get chased, or there will be a fight. It was a scary time. It was a scary experience, but luckily, and I'm so grateful, that didn't stop me from living my life. Me and my friends, we used to just go out everywhere. We used to go swimming, camping. We used to go to parties everywhere. And we did have some very negative experiences where gangs would approach us, take all our money. But now that we think back, now that we're grown up, I always get together with my friends and we think back of these experiences and we just laugh and we remember. And I don't know if you've ever done it, but it's one of the most satisfying experiences when you get together with your friends and you just remember and tell stories of things that we've been through together. We had this one friend who he was terrified of going out. So he never left his house because he was scared of being attacked. So he never came along with us. He would just stay in his house, watch TV, and not because he wanted to, but because he lived in fear. He was in fear. So now that we're older, whenever I get together with my friends, I always see it in his eyes. And it pains to see this because what I see in his eyes is regret. And regret is the worst thing in the world because you can't do anything about it. He can't go back in time and decide that he's going to go out with us and go past the fear and have all these experiences, these amazing experiences and memories that we have. He can't do that. Time passes, you can't go back. And it pains to see this because I see regret in him. And he even says it. He says, I wish I had just gone with you guys and just experienced this, because these are memories. Regret is worse than fear. Another thing, fear can manifest in different ways. Another way fear manifests is not having security. That was my biggest problem. I graduated, I went to work. I was working from Monday till Saturday, from 8 in the morning to 7 in the evening. I didn't have a life. I was just working. I hated the job, but I stayed because I was afraid, I was in fear that if I left, I will never find another job and I will lose my security. Until one day I thought, you know what? I just don't have a life. This isn't living. I'm just following a routine. I will get up every morning, go to work, get home, talk to my family for a few minutes, for a few hours, watch some TV, go to sleep, wake up the next day, do the same thing. That wasn't living. So routine, fear enslaves you, puts you in a routine, it puts you in a box. And life is short. My granddad passed away a few months ago, before he died, we were actually on holiday, and there was a moment where he was talking to the family and he was telling his experiences, that things that he's been through, and he just seemed so proud, and he seemed like he had lived his life to the fullest. He passed away a couple of days after. But I said to myself, you know, that's how I want to go. When I leave this world, I want to go without regrets. I want to know that I experienced everything that I needed to experience. That's why I left that job, found myself another one that allowed me a bit more freedom, and I just started doing things I liked. For example, I started taking up hobbies. I started taking up athletics, running, which I liked. I started doing meditation, which is something I found interesting. I also started doing things that challenged me. I started doing open mics. These are all experiences. I started traveling. So I started changing my value system from having security to having experiences, because that's what life comes to. That's why we're here. I personally believe, since I started doing yoga, since I started doing meditation, that this is just an experience. We're just experiencing this life, and we learn from the negative and the positives. So, I mean, you don't take anything with you. Of course, you do have to be realistic. I'm not saying just quit your job and just, because we have to live in the real world as well. We have to, of course, we have to work and survive and earn some money. That's part of the experience. That's part of the rules of this world. But don't live just to work. Live, to experience. One of the things that helped me was this book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Sometimes we want to do something, but we're afraid to do it. We're afraid what other people think. Afraid of what other people think. We're afraid of what our neighbors, our friends think. And that stops us a lot of the time. So this book is called, I can't remember by who it is, but it's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. One of the quotes, I think it was a guy called Ty Lopez. I think he was the one that said it. There's a quote that says that so many times the people that win are the people that are willing to experiment the most. I mean, like Bill Gates, what's that guy's name? The guy that created Apple. They just had all these crazy ideas that people thought they were crazy, but they were willing to experiment and just go through the experience. If it fails, it fails. If it works, it works. I hope this video helped in some way. If you like this video, please like, subscribe to my channel, and share. Thank you for watching.